So hopefully when you come, and I'm hoping, again, I'll put you on play, that when you do your rest assignment, I'm hoping we have something good that we can include in, because we custom building the book for this class, and I'm hoping in your research, and you're going to get ready, that I'm looking to that you bring to the report, that you have some other insight, or critique some of this thing, and say, hey, this is not working. I was interviewed, I looked at all these resources, I watched all this video, I went to seminar, I still can't get a job. I still go to the interview and I'm bombing. It's just say it. So don't come give me a report that is critical of what you read. And I'm looking for that, that you come and say, okay, this is not working. Yeah, all these experts say, do this, ask this question, ask that. I can't still hire a right person. I know, they read, many times person said, I know what to ask. And still it's boring. I'll go through this interview. I've done so many of these interviews. I'm still bored to death by the end of interview, and still asking the same question. They asked me the same question they asked 5 years ago. Still the list of questions is the same. Nothing has changed. Evaluation, the same thing. They evaluated me the same. How come for years evaluation of faculty is like this? That at the end they give you this 4 and you just figure out. How come? How come it never changed? I've been teaching all these years, this has never changed. They never came up with another effective, innovative method of evaluating the faculty. You come in, they write it at the end and you fill out this form. We have problem with our education, and I'm glad I'm on tape, so to say that, we have a problem on our education or our classes, and I say, we can't speak our minds sometimes, you can't speak your mind at work, and same situation is affecting all of us. So, as one thing I like, you always want to have a non-interview setting in which to observe. Then you do have a non-interview, then you have a situation of privacy, a situation of you sitting in a non-interview question that you're going to be asking. You have to watch, for those questions. You're asking personal questions. So this goes back to the same type of interview question. Silly question, as I said, I've seen this thing over. Tell me about yourself, how do you persuade? If you own the company, what would you hire yourself? It's just, for God's sake, when you come back, and this is the best resource, by the way, I found. I looked a lot for tonight. And this is better than some others. And all the questions are dull, all the questions are very much the same. What should we hire you as you've seen this question many times in the past, am I right? Me about yourself, are you happy? Are you just, how do you feel about somebody? Still, these are very standard questions. So, after you plan interview, you conduct interview, you have to conduct an effective interview. Oh, great. They're saying, an effective interview. I'm just hoping, I guess the author of the book or resources, won't watch this video later because it's going to go back in. Because I'm critiquing, and so hopefully that will be the case. Breaking the ice to diffuse the nervous tension. Ask questions. Puzzle interviews. Keep it legal. What else? We know this thing. What else can you really do to an interview? Again, hopefully one group has to do interviewing probably for the last. What is really some other effective? Because these things are not really working now. You hire people, and people know they're going to be asking you these questions. So what they do? Because now things people got managers, now maybe take some classes, or they have list of questions. So what is remember last week we talked about fake. Again, that's the problem with that if you have a study, and most people do study, and they know, they go to interview already, and they know. The interviewee knows what to ask, and interviewer, same thing. So the problem is that you're going to get set up. How many times is it prepare your answer, prepare for your classes? And what is the problem with that? You just said. How many times you have been with somebody after a year, says, my God, I have no clue this person. Because, they always give you an impression of themselves that you like to see. Same thing, this huge issue with interviews. People over the years become smarter, and they know how to give interviews. So, and then after 6 months of working, then you say, oh, this is not working. Company spend a lot of time. I have huge issue with all these resources I see on interview, because people are not hiring right people, because they go based on set of standard, set of a question that is out there, and it's not working. You go because you prepared. Many times I have gone and I knew what to do to get a job, but was I right for the job? Many times, I wasn't. I just knew what to do. How many times you studied and you knew what to study in a school? That's why I have issue with exams. But we have to give exams. There are some classes that forces us to give exam. Again, I'm on tape. That will be good. So they can look that why exam is not an effective way of evaluating the performance. Because I aced many exams during my career, and honestly, I walked away from the class not knowing hardly anything. I just knew to study how to study. I crammed it up the night before exam. I just crammed the information the night before exam. I knew what to study. I knew the faculty to provide, the type of question they're going to give, and I studied based on that. 80% of your grades, some classes, 90% of your grades are exam. Am I right? Some classes, it's an exam. And if you know it, exam, there are people that are good, but they can't take exam. They can't memorize. They can't remember. And they end up, with a grade that is not really reflective of their knowledge. Same thing. You go to interview, you learn. How do you answer a question? You get the job. But are you the right person for the job? Then here talks about what you do if you're doing the interview. You have to sell the candidate on the company. What do you have to sell the candidate on the company? If your company have an issue, do you have to really study? Again, I have issue with that thing that you have to sell the candidate on the company. What is the ethics? If you go and you know this company have issues, why would you hire somebody if you know this company is going to go under? If you know this is not really working? I've seen many times. I took a job. After 9 months, they closed down the department. My God, why would they really convince me? And they did. They had to get me there for that. Why do they do that? Why is it that people hire others and they sell them? Because good candidates, sometimes a person can go to their companies. Why do they do that? To get somebody there, if you are a manager, you're working place, and you want to hire somebody, you're going to sell, because that's they always say. Not only you have to sell yourself, this comes to a situation of ethics, again, fake situation. You sell yourself to the company, and the company, see, you're not deceiving to get a job. Sometimes company deceive to get you too. They tell you, okay, come work for us, and you already have a good job. You're working somewhere else. And this company want to sell you on position they have. They get you there, and they say, okay, you come up here, we're going to do this for you, we're going to do that for you, this is the right place for you, believe me, you don't want to go there. And after 6 months, you find out, it was all right. The person knew your issue in that company, and they didn't give you that information. They just got you there, they left you to hang and dry after a few months. So, I have issue with convincing the best candidate to take a company. If you were, personally, that sometimes I do, I always say, like in class, I said, this is the type of class, this is what is expected out of you. This is not, and I said, this class is maybe not as good as the other class. I just say some information, you just have to try to be as honest as you can be. Then after you get effective interview, you conduct interview, you done that, then you have to do check reference. And I have issue with this, check references. But you check, is it really necessary? First of all, with references. Who gives a bad reference? I mean, you put in your head. You put, you give whoever giving you a friend. Is it going to give you bad